much of a muchness. I feel like, has everyone got him? Everyone got some sort of involvement there?
Oh, probably. We're live. Hello, everyone. I like that.
Well,
I like that we just went live as to like, has anyone got involvement with the Iheanacho? Yeah, we pretty much. When players are like that, firstly, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. We're here for Scoutcast Match Day. We've got Man United versus Leicester. It's a midweek game. It's currently 0-0, I believe. We're 10 minutes in. We'll come to Seb for team news in the next minute. But we were just saying, players like Iheanacho, yes, we want them to score because we've got them in our teams, but if everyone's got them, it's not quite the same. But if you own a Vardy, or if you own a Castagna or a Greenwood, then it matters to you this game. So, Seb, what news have you got?
Leicester have scored.
You're kidding! Come on!
Who is that? Is that Luke Thomas who has just scored?
No.
I think Luke Thomas has scored.
For his first Premier League goal?
I don't know who has him. I very nearly had him on a draft, but he would have been so safe.
4.5 defender?
Less than that.
Is he
like
less?
4.1 or something? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hence considering him. I only just caught the goal, but it was real nice. So over to the left hand side, far post. He side foots it across the goalkeeper, top corner. We'll have to see who put it in. I would guess Mark Albrighton is probably over there. That might not be Albrighton, actually.
Is it Vardy or is it...
I think that's Perez. It goes over Vardy's head.
Damn.
That's a lovely finish. Similar sort of area of the goal as Bertrand Traore I found the other day, you know?
Wow, massive call for Thomas to even get the nod today because Castagna and Albrighton are starting. Castagna's in a back three, I think. He could have gone with a centre-back in there. He put Castagna there, so Thomas can play out wide. Like that.
Yeah, quite. I mean, SofaScore has got me a back four. So Castagna right back, Luke Thomas left back, Fofana and Sionchu in the middle.
And Albrighton in the mid.
Albrighton right, Perez left. So, I don't know if that's actually how they've shaped up. Just turned on here, so we'll learn soon enough.
If Perez is central, then it's a back five. If Perez is wide, it's a 4-4-2.
Yeah, reasonable. I mean, Perez just put the ball in from the right, so he's probably not on the left wing as is being suggested here.
Okay, unless he's on the right and we've got... Is Albrighton on the left? I've just got my first eyes on screen. I
believe Albrighton played it down the line for him. So what do you reckon? You're going to have Perez behind Iheanacho and Vardy in that 3-5-2 or 3-4-1-2 shape in that Maddison position, I guess. Tillmans and Ndidi in the middle, and then Castagna back three, as you said.
And he did well, Perez, when he came on the other day. Obviously, he was involved in one of the goals, but yeah, he looked good. And it does seem that Rodgers will only go Perez or Maddison, not both. Looks like Tielemans may have got the assist, according to Kevin Cook in the chat. Lot of rain coming down at Old Trafford. Just getting a close up of Vardy. What timestamp are you on, Seb?
I am on 12:05:06:07.
Perfect. I am probably half a second behind you, maybe a second behind you, so that's all good.
Oh, not bad.
Nice to watch the game together, bro.
Yeah. Although, I mean, we were as you took us live stealthily there. I'm glad I didn't say anything naughty.
Yeah, Soz, I should have given you a bit more warning. I was rushing. What it is you press the live button and then about 20 seconds later it comes live, so I never know exactly when. I just see when we are. But yeah.
I like that you have enough faith in me that I wouldn't be saying anything horrific. But yeah, we were just saying how, like, obviously we've chosen this match. It's a cool one tonight. Man United have got the 3 matches this week, but with the rotation, super heavy as well. De Gea playing, I think I didn't expect that myself.
Yep.
How much interest do we think we have? So hence the Iheanacho conversation. From Man United, Greenwood is possibly the only one. Even the defence, I don't think there's anyone there that people would have if they were expecting 2 or 3 matches. So it comes down to your Luke Thomases, if you like, your Iheanacho, your Vardy. Will anyone have gone for maybe Castagna, a Tielemans, something like that?
Yeah.
Goalkeeper maybe, Schmeichel?
Unfortunately, a few, especially on free hits, did go Maddison, which is quite disappointing. That's hard. That's a hard one to take because he went off early, and then I think he's fit. There are rumours of a bust-up between him and Rodgers, by the way, and of course not making the 11 today. But Perez did well when he came on. But yeah, the United team, Seb, I think we expected Greenwood to start because we know the team Ollie wanted to play against Liverpool last time round, right? We saw the 11 before the game was off, and Greenwood for that was I think benched. Was he benched? I think he may have been.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember, so I'm not going to guess.
I do remember Jota was benched. So, guys, if you've got Jota, and he did start last time out, Firmino was benched. I think Jota probably misses the Liverpool game. But yeah, Greenwood, he's the only one to play 3 games in 6 days. He is the only Man United player to play against Roma, to play 2 days ago, and then to play again today.
So Greenwood was in the lineup for the Liverpool match. It was Greenwood, Fernandes, Pogba, and Rashford.
Cavani was
so
benched.
Yeah, I mean, with McTominay and Fred, basically the team he played the other night instead.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, so I'm maybe surprised to see Greenwood tonight. You'd expect not to see him against Liverpool now then.
Yeah.
Although
and Cavani plays Liverpool.
Yeah, seems fair. Which is probably suitable as well for him. Would you say I think he got 60, 70 minutes the other night? So there's a chance he now does the opposite. He gets, 60 tonight, half an hour against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it probably adds up to the same number of minutes that other players would play anyway.
Yeah, that Rashford will get. Speaking of Greenwood, he's on the attack here.
Oh, I think he's just scored a goal. He has indeed. Greenwood has scored. That might be a Rashford assist. It may have come off some Leicester defenders first. Luke Thomas doesn't look very happy. So
Rashford's not playing. It can't be a Rashford assist.
Good point. Of course, I'm looking at this team sheet going. Rashford, of course. It's come down the right hand side where I expected to see Rashford.
Yeah, that was it. Oh, that's so disappointing, Seb. On a free hit, did you go? I went Rashford over Greenwood.
I went Greenwood.
I went Rashford purely because I was like, Greenwood will be the more popular pick and I need a differential. Was it Diallo down the right?
I think it is. Is he 56 is the new guy, isn't it? So yeah, number 19, Amad Diallo. Yeah, indeed.
Diallo, the Atalanta legend, played.
And he has got the
4 times.
Nice finish from Greenwood on his right foot, which he isn't right-footed, he's left-footed, but lovely finish on his right foot there.
It's sort of, I mean, it's great. It hits the post and goes in, but Schmeichel stretches with his leg and you just think, there's not much pace on the ball. It's one of those little sort of bobblers, but yeah, it's great direction. It hits the post and goes in. You can't ask keepers to get to stuff that's going to hit the post and go in usually. But it is a tight angle. But yeah, so good on both feet. You just don't know how to defend against the kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you, I don't know if you want to talk about this more at half time, but would you be taking him in the Euros this summer?
Only because the squad's now bigger, because they're going to take 26, aren't they, right? I think it's gone from 23 to 26.
That's a good point.
Take 23 and no, I wouldn't take Greenwood because that means Sancho or Grealish stay at home. And I'm
Sancho staying at home.
Yeah, but they were the rumours on the 23-man squad that Sancho or Grealish would be left out, which is bonkers.
Sancho starts for me.
Yeah, I saw your tweet about that. I don't know if I genuinely haven't watched him enough to say I would start him, but I think I would. I think I'd start him and Foden.
He's basically one of the best players of that age group in the entire world.
Yeah.
And has, over the last 2 seasons, had stats comparable to Messi at a similar age.
Yeah.
Foden, the classic FBref percentile comparison.
Yeah.
Foden comes out ridiculously on that. Basically, Sancho is only second to him. I think it's one of those. Hey, fair enough. We watch the Premier League. We play fancy Premier League. You don't see much of him.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He's not in your head. I forgot about Trippier until the other day, who I would take myself as well. He's considerably better than Alexander-Arnold defensively.
Yeah.
And he's not even that good defensively. But yeah, Sancho is
under
outrageously good. Yes. Well, who isn't? Hey?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I'm with
Sancho's
you.
ridiculous.
Greenwood. Sancho has to go for me, and if that means leaving someone like a Greenwood at home, then so be it. But I think they'll all go now, the 26-man squad. I think the bigger squad means you probably take, from the 3 extra places, 2 of them are probably attackers. You probably take 2 extra attackers because you don't need more than 2 in each position at the back, yet you can have a mixture of attackers to do different things. You could say the same about right-backs, I guess, but other than right-back, I don't think there'll be 2 for every position, 3 right-backs and then loads of attackers.
It probably makes the conversation actually less interesting.
Yeah, it does.
Everyone probably agrees on about 21, 22 of them.
Yeah.
And then with the 26, we all just have them in there anyway. So when I was looking at my 23, I wouldn't take Lingard. No. And I was almost looking at not taking Rashford, only because of what I wanted to do elsewhere in the squad. The reasoning being, I think in the 26, Rashford goes, and I probably would end up taking him. But the question for me is, if I'm not starting Rashford, who's more useful to the squad? Greenwood, who I think is a better striker, or Rashford, who is just going to do what Sancho, Sterling, Grealish, Foden do better from the wing?
Yeah, easy. I've just realised I've got a Leicester defender, Seb.
Is it Luke Thomas? Tell me it's Luke Thomas.
No, I've got Castagna. And it was either him or Dean. It was 50-50 on him and Dean, and I went with the bookies odds, and the bookies said, just on clean sheet odds, right? The bookies were like, I don't know, Everton had a 30% chance and a 30% chance in both their games, and Leicester had a 50% chance and a 25% chance. So it was like, okay, I'll go with the bookies odds, same sort of price, same attacking output. Now I've got Castagna in a back three and he hasn't kept a clean sheet. Still this season, I'm yet to get a clean sheet from a Leicester defender. Now I have owned Ricardo.
That's tough.
I've owned Ricardo for 10 games. I own James Justin for about only 3 or 4. And I've owned Castagna now. And I've still not had a Leicester clean sheet. What is going on?
They definitely feel like one of those teams that, I mean, I'll have a look at the stats in a sec, but who feel defensively solid in the numbers because their numbers might be low, but they always let one in. That kind of feels anecdotally correct, which isn't really that useful to us as FPL managers. We need 0 or 10.
Yeah, they did go on a really good clean sheet run when everyone had James Justin, but I just didn't have it.
Guys, for the season, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th or so for XGC, best that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they're conceding 1 a game as opposed to conceding 2 and 0, it's not very helpful to us.
It really isn't, is it? So we're 1-1. We're 20 minutes in. It's been a very good start. Conditions at Old Trafford are very wet. We're seeing a lot of challenges flying in. Juan Mata's even getting a run out for United in the midfield with Van der Beek and Matic. So the midfield's experienced. What did you see? What did you see?
Greenwood just megged Ndidi with quite a nice little back heel. And then Ndidi went chasing after that. And he didn't catch Mata, but he really went in with some high studs there. Maybe a bit of the weather, I think he possibly did maybe try and pull out of it, hence the leg coming high. But he really throws himself at the ball and could have done Mata a mischief there.
Just looking at Leicester on the press here, it does look like a 4-4-2. We have got Perez out wide on the left, by the looks of it. It's a midfield 2 of Tielemans and Ndidi, which means Albrighton's playing as a right winger, and then you've got your back 4. So Castagna owner's out there. He's going to get a little bit further forward than we perhaps thought if they were playing the back 5 and was at right centre back.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. When I mistook, was it Tielemans for Perez early on? That obviously was what I was basing my 3-5-2 on. So yeah, I think you're right there. If that's looking like a 4-4-2. Oh yeah, you can see them lining up here now. So with Man United bringing it out to defence, that is a 4-4-2 off the ball, yeah.
And United in the shape, I guess we expect from them, the 4-2-3-1. It does look like Greenwood's the number 9, but he is drifting out wide at times. But then there's also the young Swedish kid that we've never heard of before, the 19-year-old. I'm trying to work out if he's playing off the left or playing centrally. But yeah, I think him and Greenwood are rotating a bit.
He appears to have started off the left, but yeah, he keeps tucking inside, doesn't he? I think he's right-footed, which obviously naturally, so he's going to tuck in from that side, like most modern inside forward wingers do. But with the ball coming forward here, he's definitely peeling left. So I guess looking for that width and then coming to do a support striker job, which is not dissimilar to what Rashford or Martial, right-footed from that side, would do themselves.
Yeah. They like, and a role that Greenwood can play on that side too, or the other. What do we want here, Seb? I just want goals today, I guess. Now that we know the clean sheet's been wiped out, I just want some Vardy points.
Yeah, you want Vardy, right?
Oh, so Vardy ball into Iheanacho. It doesn't quite get there.
The creative force that is Jamie Vardy nowadays with his 13, 14 assists or whatever it is.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Which is crazy.
I got an assist from Vardy the other day, which was quite nice on a free hit. But before that, I've owned him for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I hadn't had a return. I couldn't believe it. He keeps coming close, but just not getting it. And obviously, having the double that I've got Iheanacho too, I really am hoping that I can get a combination out of those two. We've still not seen them combine for a goal, or certainly not in the last month. So hopefully that happens. Guys in the chat, let us know if you've got any Leicester captainers out there. I'm guessing there's quite a few that have captained Iheanacho in the chat. Let us know if you have. Anyone captain Greenwood? Seb, who was your captain?
Oh, there's got to be some Greenwood captains. I've gone Bruno because I'm on a free hit and it just seemed the most sensible option. There was lots of discussion about, differentials and if someone scores more, you gain rank, whatever, fair enough. Just believe Bruno had the highest points potential this week. I could have any player and captain whoever I wanted. So I picked the player I thought who had the highest ceiling and a reasonable floor.
Yeah.
To be fair, with Greenwood playing the last match and this one and scoring in both, he could well come out the best captain from this week. But I don't mind that. I also own him.
Yeah, I think he does. But I don't think he starts against Liverpool. The guy has played 3 games in 6 days. He played Thursday, he played Sunday, he's now playing Tuesday. When I say playing, I'm talking about starting. I'd be very surprised if he starts again on Thursday? No chance. He can't.
Thursday.
You can't start 4 games in a week.
And he played 90 the previous Thursday.
Against Roma,
so
yeah.
If it's, I can't remember how long he played the other weekend, but let's say
it's about 70, yeah.
So if it's 90 and 70, and let's say he gets, it could be half time, but let's say 60 or something tonight, that's probably the equivalent to playing, Champions League Wednesday, Premier League weekend, Champions League the weekend again, in the week again. So yeah, I think the last match is the one that makes the difference, and you probably sit him out for that.
Yeah. Really annoying. When I did my team reveal video on Scout, which was on Friday, I had Greenwood in, but
Mate.
Yeah, I had Greenwood and Mitchell, and
Okay.
I ended up changing it to Rashford and Zaha. So Mitchell.
What made you make that change?
Differentialness of it. I just when everyone on a free hit will go Greenwood, no one will go Rashford because of money. So I was like, I'll go Rashford. Yeah. And then I had Robbo to get the money. I downgraded Robbo to Nat Phillips. I was like, they'll both get the same clean sheet points, and I'm not going to bet on Robbo getting attacking returns because he just hasn't been.
Yeah, Phillips over Robertson's not horrible. Like, obviously, Robertson has higher potential, but he's 3-odd million more, so fair enough. Sounds like we kind of just made opposite decisions, which is kind of fun. I had Watkins, by the way, so I've got my solid -1.
Does that mean you didn't have DCL, Seb?
I have DCL and Iheanacho.
Oh, okay. I had Vardy. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, and I couldn't have afforded. The choice wasn't.
You got Mane. You must have Mane then.
I have. I'll go through it. I've got Guaita in goal, despite talking about Henderson loads, but I'll explain why I changed that. Guaita in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Dean, and Shaw at the back. Mane, Salah, Fernandes, Greenwood, Calvert-Lewin, Watkins, Iheanacho, and then a bench that no one cares about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you went against Dean, I went for him because I saw that James was out of at least the first match. So I wanted him being on set pieces. Obviously, I got the clean sheet, so that's not necessarily what I predicted, but I'll take it. And then went Guaita because with the comments from Ollie, and got super lucky on like Maguire getting injured, right? I probably thought he would rotate, but not as much as then he let on that he would, especially when it came to the defence. I thought Henderson would get all three.
And Maguire, I thought, might get all three. Maybe he would have, but who knows?
Exactly. But then with us then thinking, okay, who's not going to... If we don't think anyone's going to get all three, or worse, going to get like half a match in the centre-back or something, I wanted to shift towards attacking. So I was always having Bruno. And I've got Luke Shaw as well, because I thought, well, he comes with more attacking intent. So if I do want a defender, I'll get the one that could also get attacking returns if none of them are going to play 390s. And then Greenwood, simply because, okay, if he only plays 2, I'd rather have someone who I'm not relying on clean sheets. And for that, I reckon I need the Leicester and Villa games. Whereas if I'm getting someone who is going to get attacking returns, I'm happier to have one of those big against Liverpool.
Yeah, I see the thinking there. See the thinking completely. It was a hard one for a free hit. It was quite a difficult free hit to go rogue. It was very, there was a lot of very obvious, there was a pool of 18 players and it was very obvious you were going to pick from that pool. What happened?
Just a cross came in there. One of those crosses that if it goes in, you claim it, but it's not a shot and De Gea just tips it over the bar.
Corner incoming. Manan in the chat, by the way. Captain Greenwood. Fair play, Manan. Love
nice,
that.
Nice.
Prasan as well, Captain Greenwood. Loving that.
What I want to know is people who captain Greenwood, are you A, on a free hit? B, do you, and then regardless of that, do you own Fernandes? If you made the choice to bring in Greenwood over Fernandes and captain him, fair play. If you're on a free hit, I'm interested to know why you chose Greenwood over Fernandes.
Yeah. Maybe just to be differential in your mini league.
And I mean, so far, great call. Can't argue with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just explained the reasoning for a bunch of my players, and the reason they've got points is probably not the reason I put forward, which shows how FPL goes, right? I picked Greenwood because I thought, he won't play tonight. He's just scored tonight. So
yeah. I like all your picks, Seb. The only one I was very anti and very happy not to go with was Watkins, but I've owned Watkins for the last 5-6 weeks, and he's been getting me points every week. Like he's been ticking along nicely, hasn't he, with those sort of 5 to 8 points. But yeah, there's talk. Grealish is going to play on Thursday. I can't see him starting on Thursday, but apparently he will be in the match day squad on Thursday. And when Grealish does play, we know we will get a better Watkins, which is great for those that perhaps want to own him from 36 and beyond. Yeah. So he's got Palace in 36.
I will be returning to him after my free hit, and I might delay a Antonio or similar transfer to get the Palace game. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how Grealish and Villa look maybe this coming week. I mean, I had Watkins, so I quite liked the idea of the Watkins, Calvert-Lewin and Nacho front line because reasonable price-wise, and Calvert-Lewin and Watkins were kind of much of a muchness for me.
Yeah.
Especially because they're playing each other after just playing each other and scoring against each other. And if you watch that match as well, they both had so many good chances to score. I think they hit the post as well. it was one of those, you know what? I don't have to choose one of them if I get both of them.
Yeah.
So I did.
I like that. And Prasan, given a bit of explanation, he captained Greenwood because he doesn't own Bruno. Love that.
Nice.
Okay. So that means you're probably not on a free hit, I'm guessing, Prasan, or you would. With MC Lovin's not watching the game, which is great. Thank you for watching us, MC Lovin. You've asked, did Bruno start? No, he didn't. To tell you the team without running through every player, I'll just tell you the only player that gets near the Man United first team that is starting today is Greenwood. Everyone else is either benched or didn't travel. In fact, I'm going to check out the bench because I'm guessing there's going to be a few big names left out.
I've got it here for you.
Any big names not on the bench that we might own? So Rashford's there, Bruno's there, Pogba's there, I'm guessing.
Yep, he's done the classic. I want to rest everyone, but I also... What happens if I'm 3-0 down?
Yeah.
So Dean Henderson, I guess, obviously. Luke Shaw, which I wouldn't hate. Come on, get me an assist. Victor Lindelof probably stays on the bench, although with Maguire injured, maybe someone gets a bit of a rest, but seems unlikely at centre-back. Aaron Wan-Bissaka stays on the bench, you'd think. Scott McTominay possibly stays there. We'll see. It's Matic and Van der Beek, and it's maybe. Marcus Rashford, Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Edison Cavani. You would say those four probably all start versus Liverpool. So, do we? Oh, I just
Is
saw
it a replay
of a goal. I saw a replay. I saw someone celebrating.
Me too.
Oh, that got me properly. But yeah, those last four, I would imagine you only use either if you're a goal down with some time to go, or you give them 5 minutes at the end.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if they get more for another reason because they probably start against Liverpool.
Yeah. What I'm hoping for is some Leicester goals, and then you get Bruno and you get Rashford early, and you maybe get a Luke Shaw. I don't think Luke Shaw because of his injury record and fitness record, but I think Pogba, potentially Pogba, but definitely Bruno and Rash will be the first 2 of 3 that will come on early should they need a goal. But yeah, it's a tough one because United don't need a win today. Perhaps a draw is a good result. Knowing the 11, the draw is a very good result. Second place looks pretty wrapped up, Seb, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty comfortable. I mean, there's no... Yeah. And I mean, David Moyes has every right to be livid. He is chasing 4th place. He has gone, I need Leicester to drop points to get in the top 4 to have a chance. And somehow Leicester have fallen on this amazing fixture where United have got to play 3 times in 6 days. That's just not on. You can't blame United for that. That's the Premier League scheduling. Now, I don't know. Should it have been rescheduled? Should the United-Liverpool game have been rescheduled elsewhere? Maybe, but where'd you put it? Had to be done before the end of the season. On next Sunday, every game will kick off at 4 p.m. We'll be doing a Scoutcast match day for that, by the way. 10 games at 4 p.m. You can't reschedule a game after that. It's not fair, right?
I can't believe next Sunday is the end of the season.
I know. How nice is that?
I say the end of the season. There's the Euros, then another one, then a World Cup. So enjoy your 1 week off.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. It's come around. I swear it was only recently we were talking about, Christmas free hits or whatever people were doing.
Yeah.
It's come so quickly.
I know. I've been saying for months, keep calm and carry on. The top 100k is still very possible, blah, blah, blah. And I'm now going, I'm still at the same rank I was at a month ago.
I mean, yeah, me and you have kind of had a similar experience. I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking about it in the shower, actually, if you must know.
Take that.
You know how it is. It's good thinking time.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about you in the shower, buddy. But I was thinking when we've spoken over like various sort of touch points over the season, whether it be wildcard decisions, free hit decisions, maybe transfer decisions, we've gone different ways a few times. Your Sterling move, your Timo Werner move. Yeah. But generally, I'd say our strategies have largely aligned.
Our chip strategy has been identical without ever discussing it. Like, are you doing this? Like, that's been funny because so many have gone against that.
And I would say one of the big things for my season, and I don't think, I don't know if I could have seen it coming, but it looks like maybe an unfortunate move, is doing the wild card and the free hit the opposite way around to what a lot of people have done. Mm-hmm. So if I could look back now, obviously I'd know the points, but just, know how the fixtures have fallen and how teams would shape up, I would, Vardy nearly closed down to hair there, but he's got it away safely. I would probably have wanted the wild card for, was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago that a lot of people used it? Yeah. The free hit's doing me great now. And the team I have for the last 3 is pretty good. But it's been this little period between when I wildcarded and my wildcard team kind of expired and getting to this stage that has really cost me. So like the early season, I did poorly. I was like 1 million plus. I battered my way all the way down to like 100k, which was finished off by the wildcard, which pretty much halved my rank in about 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then I've just slipped back up again into the 300Ks as everyone else has played the chips I'd already played in the reverse order. And I think it's been possibly the slightly suboptimal strategy, but I don't know if I could have seen that coming.
No.
And I think you've had a similar experience, right?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like you, when I wildcarded, I was very happy because massive cut in rank. But I think perhaps I was wildcarding to a team, and perhaps you were wildcarding to a team that was fairly achievable off a couple of hits. I think I made a lot of change. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't use a wildcard and make 4 transfers, but I made wholesale changes, but probably not in I made a lot of moves, but they weren't drastic moves. They weren't, I don't know, for example, I may have gone to a Leicester defender and instead of going Castagna, I could have gone to Ricardo or whatever. It would have been achievable to get a similar looking team off a few hits.
Yeah, I'd have to look back at the moves I made, but I guess I possibly agree with what you're saying. And it's that idea that if I look at my wildcard, I might have made like 8, 9, 10 transfers.
Yeah.
But if I consider, did I actually only need to make 4? Could have made those over 2 weeks, and the rest were just luxury items. You know, when you're on a wild card, you craft away and you try and make the perfect team. If you're not on wild card, you just do what needs to be done. So yeah, I wonder if maybe that balance was slightly off. But I need to look back on it. You know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, right? Who knows that I would have, maybe that wasn't the problem at all. Maybe my selections in between were terrible.
Yeah, I know for me, the one thing that really killed me was my faith in Man City early. It was bigger than any other error I made. So yeah, I sat on Timo Werner for 12 weeks. Yeah, I captained him 4 times or whatever. But that didn't make or break my season. That was just one bad call or one move that went against me. But the faith I put in Man City attack between game week... Remember, they didn't play game week 1. Between game week 3, they beat Wolves in game week 2 convincingly. And I was like, this is the same Man City from Project Restart. I went big on Man City from, I don't know, game week 3 to 10. And in that time, they averaged less than a goal a game. Like, that was not the man. And then, of course... Later on, we saw the goals. But yeah, I just got stung by that because going big meant no Salah for a time when everyone was captaining Salah. So that was definitely my error. But would I do it differently? Genuinely, yeah. Okay, I know the points. I would, but this happens again next season. I'll be going for the same rogue moves. If that means dropping Salah for big on City, because I've seen the stats and I've seen the eye test to go. I think they're going to go big again, just like they did in Project Restart. I'd back it. I like the call. I just didn't work for me.
Yeah, I think that's such an important differentiation to make between, I know the old sort of the meme over decision over outcome. I'm not quite saying that, but recognizing when you made a reasonable call that went badly.
Yeah.
And does that mean you should never make that call again? Or should you just assess the scenario in which you made it? So if your decision was to identify a strong team, go all in on them over someone you thought was weaker, well, that's how you win FPL. You just chose the wrong team in the wrong time.
Yeah.
But if you spot the same thing next season again, sure, maybe apply a slightly finer tooth comb or something, see if you aren't making the same mistake. But realistically, if you find the same thing, you should probably go for it again.
Yeah, I think so. I can't wait for next season, Seb. Not going to lie. I'm very excited about the summer as well. Let's talk about the Euros in halftime. Why not? Seems that everyone's talking about the Euros now because I
want to hear your Euros team.
Yeah,
England team.
Yeah. Okay, I look forward to that. I'm not going to be playing the fantasy Euro game, I don't think. I don't know. I've not made a team. I saw a lot doing the rounds yesterday on Twitter and I've resisted so far. Maybe I will. I probably will.
I might. I find it... there's some years where I've kind of started and then just lost interest. It takes a lot more micromanagement.
Does it?
But if I get in... Because, you can I've not read the rules for this year, but in the past, you can obviously make changes between game days. I think you can sub out a player for someone who hasn't played. And obviously as well, between rounds, you'll get one transfer between rounds, but then between the groups and the knockouts, you get 4 transfers. Then between quarter and semi, you get 8 transfers or whatever. So there's a lot more management involved. So I feel like if you're not engaged or not doing well, it's a lot easier to drop because it's a lot more effort.
Yeah.
So some years I've definitely done that. I've started and then just forgotten about it because it's the summer. But the last couple Euros and World Cup, I think it was, I have the James Rodriguez World Cup, I remember.
Oh, nice.
And the last Euros.
That was 2014. Yeah.
And the last Euros, I remember. I don't know what my rank was, so I'm not going to make it up. But it was very good. But it was one of those very good because most people stopped playing by that time. But I quite like, because if you're engaged, a bit like, everyone says that the advantage in FPL is gone a bit now.
Yeah.
I feel you can still find that in the summer game, because there are nations that no one knows anything about their players, but you can do some research and find them. And again, we've mentioned, the number of transfers you have to make. If FPL, research and strategy and knowing a bit more than your mates is what's done you well so far, well, that advantage is a lot bigger in the summer competitions.
I'm going to have to play it. Just for the fact that I'm looking forward to having a team where they're all starters. I've seen so many on Twitter with squad men in people's fantasy teams, and it's purely because they haven't, they don't know, they've not done the research. So yeah, but I'm going to play it as a casual. I'm not going to put time and effort into planning, and I'm just going to enjoy the rewards if they come. And then if I have a good season, it makes the Twitter bio, and I forget about the dreadful FPL season.
yeah. Won the Euros game. Don't ask about FPL.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, I've just talked it up a lot. If you need a summer off, you take a summer off. Maybe I will. Like, maybe the first game will kick off, I would have forgotten about it. I'll be like, oh well, I'm just going to watch some football. I mean, I really don't like international football until it gets to tournaments, and then I find it interesting.
Yeah.
So, and to be fair, Fantasy Premier League makes Premier League football a lot more interesting to me. So maybe if I feel I don't need that over a summer, maybe that's, we said some people maybe, you lose engagement with it. It depends whether, you need it to enhance your enjoyment of the competition, I guess.
In the past, I've just done the sticker books, not going to lie, including Brazil 2014, did the album I think that may have been my last actually, but Toby has already bought the album and keeps sending me photos of stickers. So he's trying to get me on the Euro 2020 album. I don't think I'm going to go there. It's an absolute waste of money.
If you're gonna, you got to start now, because once the final's gone, your interest will go.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing, like they have to start early, and then you look at the album and go, there's 7 men in this Italy double page that aren't going to make the squad. What's going on?
Yeah.
So disappointing.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll end up with I don't know, Van Dijk in the Dutch squad or something. I don't know if he's going to be fit, but yeah, you end up with so many people who were just like, they weren't. Oh, Vardy is not in. I think that was Tuanzebe who did a very nice job of getting in front of him there.
Quick. Was that Tuanzebe next to Bai, isn't it? 39 or whatever number. He is rapid.
Quite possibly. I'm relying on the numbers here. I'm on a small screen, so when they don't have their numbers facing me, I'm just guessing based on position.
Left centre back, yeah. I mean, Vardy was in there, and out of nowhere came Tuanzebe with the intercept, and it was Iheanacho that put him in. That is the double up that I am looking for. Let's hope that comes. It's weird seeing Leicester in the 4-4-2. They've not played 4-4-2 in ages. I don't know if it's working for them. It's hard to tell, because they're not. I mean, we've seen very little in terms of chances and goal-mouth action. We've seen the 2 goals, but outside of that, I don't think there's been any even half chances really.
I have 1 shot from both teams.
There we
go. According to the stats here, I feel like there might have been more. Maybe I'm just thinking of chances that didn't end up in a shot, but. I mean, hey, we've been talking a lot away from the match, so I've not seen all the intricacies, but it hasn't caught my attention.
No, nor me. Come on, Tielemans. Let's go, champ.
Yeah, speaking of the 4-4-2, I wonder, because the personnel, my mistake earlier, thinking they were 3-5-2, the personnel do suit a 3-5-2. So is this in response to what Man United are doing? But then Brendan Rodgers probably can't have seen that coming because, okay, 4-2-3-1, sure, but the personnel he probably couldn't have anticipated. So,
is it a response to them just playing poorly, though, Seb? They have been dropping points all over the place, haven't they? I don't want to say they're going to bottle the top 4 chances, but we've been seeing a lot of freak results from Leicester in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Just similar to this time last year, isn't it? Although this time last year they were missing, I think they might have been missing Ndidi, Sionchu,
Maddison.
Maybe Maddison. I know he's been injured recently. Obviously Barnes is out of this, but I feel like they have more players fit this time. Have had injury problems, a little while ago, but yeah, at the moment, it just feels like a similar sort of drop-off towards the end of the season, which is, it could just be coincidence, but unfortunate.
If Harvey Barnes is a massive, massive loss. Like, he's the one that, yes, they rely heavily on their wing-backs, but Barnes is the only natural wide attacker that they have if you take the wing-backs out. Perez wants to go central. Maddison's a 10. Vardy doesn't want to be out wide, nor does Iheanacho. You know, Barnes gives them their width. And we watched a game on Scoutcast Match Day, probably around Christmas. I think it was, I don't know if it was at Ellen Road, but it was Leicester Leeds. And on the counter, it looked amazing. And we saw Barnes as sort of almost like split strikers, but so wide.
It was when Vardy wasn't fit, was he? Maddison and Barnes just destroyed us basically through the middle themselves.
Right, was it Maddison and Barnes? Yeah, okay. And
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I remember watching that game and we discussed it going, Barnes is wide, but he is always the most advanced man on the pitch.
You know what? Vardy might have been fit. The fact that I don't remember whether it was Vardy or not demonstrates the fact that it was Barnes that scared me.
Yeah, it was definitely all Barnes. I think Vardy may have played, but yeah, it was Barnes that was. We were like, how's Barnes like more like higher up the pitch than Vardy? Like before then, we'd only ever known Vardy as the highest up, but Barnes absolutely ruined them. Yeah, it was good fun.
That's quite a nice illustration as well of the problems we had earlier in the season that maybe have changed a bit now, where just that individual direct runner, your Sons, your Rashfords, your Scott McTominay's apparently, or like Harvey Barnes really did damage to Lee's defence.
Yeah.
Whereas recently that's changed a little bit. An individual player can still take us apart, but with the change to Dallas playing zonally in the middle as opposed to everyone being man-to-man, and a slightly step off the gas maybe as well, changing personnel elsewhere, we have become a little more solid against that, to the point where Gareth Bale was completely anonymous the other night, although maybe less his fault and the fact that Spurs were very bad. And I guess it's one of those, if I could have done, I would have had Gareth Bale. Obviously I was on a free hit, but I would have had Gareth Bale if I could have. And I think I spoke about it on the Scoutcast. And he was just not involved at all. I expected him to take Alioski apart.
Yeah.
But what actually ended up happening is Alioski and Harrison doubled up on Serge Aurier so well, and Gareth Bale didn't come back to help, that Gareth Bale just never got the ball.
Yeah. And he's not going to be one for tracking back either, is he? Certainly not in his latter years. Iheanacho with the ball on the edge of the area, finds Ndidi. Oh, we might get a free kick there. Yeah, I think we'll get a free kick on the edge of the box. No Maddison playing, so I don't know who takes that. Tielemans probably takes it.
Yeah, quite possibly. He's on a lot of the corners and direct free kicks without Maddison. Or even with Maddison now, actually, I think.
Molo says Vardy did play at Leeds. Thank you, Molo. You were on that straight away.
Yes.
Makes me think you didn't even check it, Molo. You just knew. Love that. Well informed, the guys that watch this channel. Thank you very much, guys. Please do all like and subscribe to the channel if you don't already. And let us know if you want us back for more Scoutcast match days. We're keen to. We're probably not gonna. We're not gonna be doing one in game week 37. I can't next week. I've got work commitments. But we are doing one this weekend. What are we doing this weekend, Seb? We did say, didn't we? Friday. We're going to do Friday night, aren't
Man City. Newcastle, Man City?
Newcastle, Man City. Great. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Because I think we're going to see a full-strength Man City, so we're going to get some goals.
I'd like that.
Are you going to own a Man City player for that?
I own two. My free hit will leave, and their free kick hit the wall, by the way. Classic. Comes back in, but nothing. I think that is half-time. But yeah, I have De Bruyne and Gundogan in my non-free hit team.
Do you? I've got Gundogan in my team. I bought him in last week.
Nice.
As I
you
sold
bought him in?
Yeah,
nice.
I bought him in
I've just held on to him.
No, I bought him in last week in anticipation for knowing that Man City are in the final of the Champs, and I didn't want him this week where I thought he'd be rested. And Pep will go full strength as he will. Maybe not all full strength, but we're going to see 9 of the 11 that are starting in the Champions League probably playing 2 or 3 of the final 3 Premier League games.
Do you not go for Foden over Gundogan?
Couldn't afford it.
Oh, they're so close as well. That's gutting.
0.2.
Oh, mate, that's
and
gutting.
there's 0.3 between them, and I had 0.2. I've got 0.2 in the back. I think I was 0.1 short.
Oof. That's why we make early transfers 3 months ago.
Yeah, exactly that.
But I like the look of Mahrez as well. I mean, I don't think I'll end up with him because he's kind of an awkward price, but he's been, without anyone owning him, he's been ridiculous recently.
It's been amazing.
I mean, I guess mostly in Europe, to be fair.
Yeah.
But he's been brilliant for them.
Yeah, Foden and Mahrez or KDB, I'm going to try and get a third in, a second Man City player in. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do it for the Newcastle game. I think my transfer this week is going to be a budget forward, selling Vardy to go budget forward, and then if I want KDB for the last 2, I can. But my budget forward, Seb, I mean, DCL, Antonio, Bamford. There's 3 very good players there with great fixtures, something to play for, and I'm probably only going to own one of them because I'm going to keep Kane and I'm going to keep Iheanacho. I mean, I'd happily sell Iheanacho, but I don't know if it's worth a transfer. But Vardy comes out. Who'd you buy out of those 3?
I mean, you keep Kane, and then I think like you said, there's probably 3 to choose 2 from. I don't have Iheanacho in my normal team, and I won't get him. I think there are better options now.
Yeah.
I love Antonio, so I will get Antonio. And then it's between DCL and Bamford for me, and I would probably go DCL with the exception of having Rafinha in midfield.
Yeah, I've got Rafinha in midfield, which is why I'm going over Antonio. I think I'm going DCL for one reason only: Sheffield United.
Yeah,
Everton have got Sheffield United. It's his old team as well. He looked really good on the free hit so far. I think I'll be going DCL. Guys in the chat, let us know how your game week's going. DCL captain shout this week, says Matt.
Nice.
Brought in Greenwood and captained him, says Robin. Love that. Should have triple captain Greenwood, says Tukin. Tukin,
You've
do you
still got a triple captain?
Yeah, that's what
and
I'm
you
thinking.
haven't used it in a triple game week?
I think, Tukin, you may not actually have your triple captainship, and you used it 6 months ago, and you're just going, I should have captained. Well, no, you probably shouldn't, because you wouldn't have known there was going to be a triple game week coming. You wouldn't have even known there was going to be a double in game week 30, 35, 36.
Hey, speaking of things we both did wrong, if you like, during the season, didn't we both triple KDB in the week he got injured?
Yeah, he got injured in game week in the first of the 2, and then he did make it out for the second of the 2 and went off injured. And in the first, I think he hit the woodwork.
He got an assist and hit. I mean, it was that period of the season where KDB doesn't score goals, and he was just hitting the post or making terrible finishes all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I captained KDB a lot this season, and every time I did, I think he hit the woodwork at least once. It was ridiculous.
That's one of those ones we're talking about. Just decisions and what you do next year. I mean, sure. If someone hits the woodwork enough times, you go, okay, their finishing isn't on point. But I don't need his finishing to be, Messi level or anything like that. I just need it to be better than average. It was considerably worse than average. At that point, I go, you know what? Okay, this isn't maybe the time to captain him because he's not happening right now, but I'll happily do it again in the future.
Yeah, me too. I look forward to, again, going big on my boys at Man City next season. Even if it's an 8.5 million Foden shout that's still a rotation risk, it's worth it because they score. When they play, they score so many goals.
Foden could be a really interesting shout next year because if we assume he's going to continue to step up in minutes and bring the numbers with him that he has done, sure, he'll be expensive, but he's not going to be Sterling or KDB price. He's not going to be Bruno price. He probably won't even be like a Son price or anything. Yeah. And this is ambitious, but he's got Son level points in him. Yeah. If he plays the whole season.
Yeah. When you look at his minutes per goal involvement and all those sort of numbers based on how much he plays, he's laughing. I'm loving that.
There's a few like that, like an 8.5 million midfield Havertz, an 8.5 million forward Timo Werner. Yeah, I think there could be some really nice picks early next season that will come good. Yeah,
there will be a few of those players that have been overpriced this season. Their ownership's been like between 1% and 10% all year, and FPL goes, we're going to give a massive reduction. So, for example, Mane is going to be, he started the season as the same price as Salah. Watch Mane be 10 million next year and then come into our thinking.
It might be time for Mane over Salah again.
Yeah, well, that's when it's really fun, isn't it? When there's one, Salah, yes, he's got perhaps the numbers on his side, but you go, I could save 2.5 million and have Mane,
Well, I mean, obviously there's many examples, but let's just say you can have Salah and a £5 million midfielder, or Mane and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I know who I back to get me more points out of, that very simple comparison.
Yeah. Mark O'Leary, Foden will be 6.5 to 7 million. Not a chance. I can't see that. 7.5, maybe, but 6.5, not a chance. He's 6.2 now.
Here's an interesting one for you on prices that this only holds up in cases where someone hasn't been over or underpriced already. Yeah. But someone who's been priced sort of reasonably, they often go very, very close to the price they finished the previous season on. So if you look back at say an Aguero or Kane or someone like that, who generally has always been premium, give or take, but may have gone up 1 million, down 0.5 million, the end of the season price and their start of the next season price is often very, very close.
Interesting.
Obviously, massive exceptions for your Jamie Vardy and Mahrez when they completely changed as players. Foden would be another one here. But someone like maybe Havertz, I reckon he gets a very similar price to what he ends this season on. Someone like, maybe Dallas doesn't count because he becomes a midfielder. I think he becomes 6 million. Yeah, quite possibly. So yeah, it's worth looking at ones like that and seeing where their price has gone. Heung-min Son might be a decent example. He started at 9 million. Yeah. He's now at 9.6. So what do you reckon? A 9.5?
I think he'll be a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's been so good, hasn't he? His points have been so good. Yeah, so Werner's... Oh, Werner's... Wow, okay. Started at 9.5, he's now 9.2. So, yeah, you think... I think we could see Werner even cheaper than that. I think we could see him at 8.5.
I think 8.5 to 9 is fair. I would pay 8.5. I would think about 9 based on other players. But he was... I mean, ultimately, he's been overpriced. But when he actually came into the league, I guess they've got to price for what if he turns up like he did at RBL and scores 30 goals.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I always love the players that have been out injured for the second half of the season that have done really well in the first half. So a couple of years ago, when KDB missed the second half of the season, I remember thinking...
And he was 9.5. He was 9.5 million, most underpriced. Yeah.
And I had him. Yeah. So I wrote in the book, which you can buy, by the way, Unlocking the Secrets to a Top 1% Finish. I wrote in my diary section, KDB is my one to watch for next season. Haven't seen the price yet, but I know he's going to be underpriced. And he came in at like 9 or 9.5, as you say. Nice. And straight away, what a punt that was. But an example to use for this season could be, now I don't think he's going to be massively cheaper than he was this year, but probably be slightly more expensive. But Jack Grealish started the season at 7 million. He rose to as high as 7.8. He's missed the last how many games? Like 15 games? 10 games? And because of that, he's at 7.5 now. If he enters next season at 7 to 7.5, and Villa, he stays at Villa and they buy a couple of other players, i.e. Tammy Abraham, who they're heavily linked with Watkins playing out wide, which is perhaps his best position of the three. I'd like that. I'd like that a lot.
Does Tammy Abraham make him a better option? Is Tammy Abraham actually a good striker?
I don't want Tammy Abraham anywhere near my football club because he can't hit a barn door. But at Aston Villa, he will score 15 Premier League goals next season. He will do really well.
Ollie Watkins has scored 15 Premier League goals this season.
But they'll both score 15 in the same team. Ollie Watkins has carried that team. I think Ollie Watkins isn't a great finisher either. I think Tammy and Ollie, between them, neither of them are tier 1 finishers. But Ollie Watkins, a lot of his best work early doors at Brentford and I think at Exeter was playing as a wide forward, not as the out and out number 9.
Oh yeah, he was he MK?
No, he was
Dons?
Exeter. He was Weston-super-Mare, Exeter, and then on to Brentford.
I remember wanting. Yeah, fair. Yeah, Exeter, you nailed it. Exeter, Western, Supermare, Brentford, Aston Villa. I remember wanting Leeds to sign him before the Brentford move and then wanting Leeds to sign him. Because like you said, he was more of a midfielder then or like wide forward. And then when he went from Brentford to Aston Villa, I wanted us to sign him again, obviously this summer with Ben Rama. Basically because obviously Bamford's done ridiculously well this year. But 12 months ago, I basically saw Watkins as a Bamford but with goals.
Yeah,
because he does all the off the ball work. He does the link up play. He just scored 10 more goals than him in the Championship.
I'm excited to see some players next season. Like the second season in the Premier League for players like Ollie Watkins, he could really go on and he'd probably have a call up to the Euros as well. It could do him well to good.
If Kai Havertz is a midfielder and he's
he will be
8.5 million, he could be. Obviously an ambitious shout. I'm trying to make one, but he could be the best value next year. Think of a Son at that price who goes and scores 15 goals and gets 10 assists or something. If he gets the game time, he has that in him.
He is unbelievable, Seb. Like I know you know how good he is. Premier League fans have no idea yet how good this guy is going to be. Like we're talking about a player that's probably going to be in the discussion for PFA Player of the Year in the next couple of years, maybe even discussion for Ballon d'Ors one day. Like he is absolutely mustard.
And obviously, just to say, we are massively assuming that he continues a positive trajectory.
Yeah.
It would be fair to say he's just about getting out of his new league rut and starting to show some stuff.
Yeah.
If Chelsea sat their manager, changed shape, he has a massive injury, what we're saying is invalidated.
Yeah.
But if he continues this trajectory, I don't think that's unreasonable. It's ambitious, but it's not unreasonable.
Yeah, his talent and also like against Real Madrid, I couldn't believe that second leg. Now, obviously, like we were unbelievable and Kante deserved his man of the match performance ×2, which he got in both legs, and he was phenomenal. Watching the game, you'd think Kante ran the furthest. Havertz actually ran the furthest on that football pitch, which was mind-blowing because he's not in the team to run, but just again to go, oh my God, you're not only like, because he sometimes skulks around the pitch like a Berbatov, you think Havertz, he's quite lazy in his mannerisms, but Jesus Christ, like you watch him and go, okay, not only have you got the most unbelievable touch, a great eye for goal, you can dribble, you can play between the lines, but also you can high pressing, you can run. Like he ran more than Kante. I just think he's going to be brilliant.
He's also pretty tall. He's very slight, but he's pretty tall. He scored quite a few headers for Leverkusen.
Yeah, he did.
The only thing about the distance covered one is always one to keep an eye on, is that the best indication of like work rate is sprints, not distance covered.
Yeah.
Because Ozil, obviously before the end, used to top Arsenal's distance covered.
Christian Eriksen
because what he did
as
is,
well at Spurs.
you just drift around looking for space, which is brilliant for what those players need to do. But that doesn't take the same effort as like sprint, stop. I'm guessing Kante probably does both of those, to be fair.
Yeah,
but someone like Havertz might have very few sprints, but quite a lot of sort of, just gliding around looking for that pocket, which is his job. But I wouldn't want to confuse that with someone who maybe is like absolutely busting a gut, like maybe like a Robertson who's constantly getting up and down, or Salah who's always sprinting to break line, coming back, sprinting to break line, coming back. Yeah. Kante who's always closing down, those kind of things.
Yeah. We haven't got long to talk Euros, Seb, before the second half kicks off. Great talking price rises in Chelsea, though. I could do that all day. Go on.
So I have an idea for you then. So the 26-man squad is boring.
Yeah.
So I'm going to name an 11, and you're going to tell me what you hate about it.
Okay, I'll tell you the only things I would change about it. Yeah?
Okay, go
4-3-3?
Yep. So we already know that's not what Gareth might do.
Against Croatia. He'll do it against the weak teams, but yeah, go on.
Henderson in goal?
Yes. I would change one thing about that, but I'll let you name it first.
Fair enough. Luke Shaw left back. Harry Maguire and John Stones centre back. And I genuinely am torn on right back. Alexander-Arnold is brilliant. He is a bad defender. Trippier for the games where I need a defender. Alexander-Arnold kind of is my default pick. So I'll go with Trent, but I could play Trippier more. In the midfield, Mount, Henderson and Rice. And then up top, Jadon Sancho, Phil Foden and Harry Kane.
Nice. Okay. There's not much between the keepers, but I wouldn't play Henderson. I don't think I've seen enough. I'd play Pope. I really like Pope. I know he's not as good with his feet.
Have you seen his numbers this year? They're not as good. I mean, season to season can change, but just the little change in their numbers, and I think it's so close, has pushed me towards Henderson, because how many matches could you have in the tournament? 3, 4, 5? I don't know if I go with a long-term goalkeeper or just the one that's showing me the better shot stopping now.
Interesting, yeah. And Gareth will like the fact he's playing in bigger games for a bigger club, because he does. I probably wouldn't change the 3 of the 4. I could see why you're going Shaw over Chilwell if you look at the recent game. Although Chilwell has done very well, especially in the Champions League. So I think that's a bit of a coin toss. But I wouldn't change necessarily Shaw. Maguire and Stones, I don't really rate them, but I would go with them. And Stones is such a good player this season because he's playing next to Diaz. You play Stones next to an Ake and then tell me he should be in the England team. You wouldn't. But hopefully next to Maguire he's good enough. Right back, I genuinely would be playing Reece James, and I'd be playing Trent against weaker opposition. But I'd be playing Reece James in the tougher games. I know Chelsea haven't necessarily, because I think you're about to tell me that. Why has Azpi come in for Real Madrid? But I think Tuchel still would play Reece James in those games. He just happens to have the world's best defensive fullback in Azpilicueta.
So that's the thing. The first half of the season, when Trent wasn't quite living up to Trent, still had the right numbers actually, but Reece James was looking pretty ridiculous in the games he actually played. He's played less recently, but
when he's come on, he's also looked ridiculous. Like against the game against Man City, which he started the other day. Oh my God, rinsing Benjamin Mendy for fun.
So just because we have so many right backs, he might not be in my squad. Just because
What's in your squad? No, Seb.
So you take
the guy can play centre mid as well, by the way. Just throwing it out there.
Maybe, but do I need that? If I've got what I'm going to have, I'm going to have Mount, Henderson, Rice, Phillips, Grealish can drop in there, Foden can drop in there. You could take a Ward-Prowse if you wanted on 26. So I take Trent and I take Trippier, because Trent is I don't need to worry about defending, and Trippier is oh goodness, can we please defend? And then I take Kyle Walker because we have so many right backs. He can play in the back 3, obviously. He could also play centre back, and he also is a better defender than Trent, even if you don't rate him that massively. So a bit like when I was talking about not taking Rashford, which I would take Rashford in my 26, but if it was 23, Reece James is brilliant, but can I apply him to any of the situations that I wouldn't choose someone else over him? I wouldn't choose him as my attacking right back just because I choose Trent, and I would choose Trippier as my defensive right back. If I need injury cover, I want someone who can play in other positions. Oh, okay, you said James can midfield, so maybe that works. But Walker covers centre-back for me. When after Maguire and Stones, I'm starting to look at like Ben Godfrey and friends, who are great, but I don't really want them playing against Portugal.
Yeah, they're not going to come in out of nowhere either. Okay, I see your thinking there. One thing I would say is Gareth Southgate, if he wants that luxury, I can attack right back, actually picks Reece James over Trent for that. Now, Reece James can do the other thing, but we know Gareth prefers Reece than Trent. He just does. And I said this about a year ago. I said a year ago, Gareth doesn't fancy Trent because for various games, he was playing Reece over him in friendlies. And I was like, why is he doing that? And then when Trent came on, he came on at left back.
He played Trippier over him for so long when Trippier was like poor for Spurs.
Yeah.
The reason I picked Trippier is because he's always been good going forward. His numbers at Atleti are the best defensive right back England have got. Obviously, that helps with Simeone, but none of the rest of them can defend. I need someone.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going. So I'd change the right back. I would go Reece, but there's not much in it. Midfield 3, I wouldn't change. Although I don't know if Henderson's going to be fit enough to be playing, so that will be an interesting third slot because I think it does have to be someone that can defend. If you've got Mount and Rice against good opposition, that third cog can't be a Grealish playing in midfield, or people still think Foden plays there. He's not played there for a year. So that does Phillips come into the equation then? I haven't seen him perform in an England shirt, Phillips. Seen him perform well at a Leeds shirt. I think he's been very average when he's played for England.
So with the England shirt on, I mostly agree. I thought his debut was pretty good against weak opposition. But then he's also been used weirdly a few times.
Like he's been played box to
Rice.
box.
Yeah.
He's not box to box. Like when he played with Rice in the last game, Rice sat as we knew he would. Phillips was up because they were playing against weak opposition. I can't remember who it was. He was asked to go box to box. It's not his gig.
Phillips can do that. He actually used to play number 10 for us a very long time ago.
Really? Okay.
But we were in the Championship not doing very well when he did that.
Yeah.
So he can play number 10, but he is an England defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
That's the quality what is shown in that position.
Yeah.
So I think there's an interesting question to solve there because Grealish, we'll see if he's up to it. Hopefully he is with him in back. Henderson, like you say, he needs to be fit enough. We possibly have a problem there because also the reason I want Henderson is if I do play Trent, that combination at Liverpool, which has worked very well with Henderson covering Trent when he goes forward, if you lose Henderson, do you potentially drop Trent altogether because you don't know how you're going to cover him?
Yeah. Interesting that you say about Phillips he's an England DM. He's not an England number 10. Andrea Pirlo was a number 10. Played for Inter Milan as a kid. They shipped him off to AC because he weren't good enough. He was number 10. And Ancelotti went, we got this kid. He plays number 10. He looks good. He's good on the ball. Let's move him to DM. And became the world's best for a very long time.
So what you're saying is play Calvin at number 10 and win the World Cup in 2 years' time or a year's time.
No, I'm saying if Leeds sell him to their local rivals and, they move him further up the pitch or whatever. Okay, so my front 3, I also go Foden and Kane. And on the right, I probably do go Sancho. Now, would I go Grealish on the left and Foden on the right? Maybe I would. I do like the Grealish inclusion. I think he provides something a bit different, especially for international football. I think you need that little bit of guile, that little bit of X factor. But do you need Grealish if you've already got that with Phil Foden? Possibly you don't need to over-egg it and go with both. And you go for Sancho, who we know prefers playing on the right. I also think Foden is slightly better on the left than the right, although he can do both. So I'd probably want Foden left, and we know Grealish would go left. So I think I'd keep that front 3 actually, Seb.
I did have, until a while ago, I did have Grealish over Foden, but with the caveat that Foden just comes on 60 minutes every game, no matter what. I remember that,
yeah.
Basically, the reason I've changed is Grealish got injured at the same time as Foden got super ridiculous. So, sorry, buddy, Foden, through circumstance and form, Foden has taken Grealish's spot. I'm just not changing Sancho. To the point where... And, you can call me an idiot, and I probably
Are you going to say his first name on your team sheet?
I mean, that's Harry Kane, isn't it? But, if Sancho plays every minute and is terrible, I will blame Southgate before I blame Sancho.
Okay.
And I know that sounds ridiculous, and fair enough. Clearly, he won't have played up to himself there. But for anyone who watches Dortmund even twice a week, he's their best player and has been for 2 years when he was 19 years old.
Yeah.
He is in the Mbappe conversation, not the Jack Grealish conversation.
Yeah, I like that. And do you know what? Whilst I said I haven't watched him, United on the attack with Greenwood on the left. Oh, well intercepted from Fofana. And Leicester get the free kick. But I said I don't watch Dortmund watch. Now I see the Sancho clips on Twitter when he scores every weekend or gets an assist. I've seen the numbers, but one thing I do take is I don't listen to any FPL podcasts or shows. But I do listen to football ones, and the BR ranks guys, I really respect their opinion for European football. And if you listen to the likes of Sam Tighe, he absolutely raves about him. Now, if he puts him up there in the Mbappe conversation, I agree.
I guess so. The only thing, if I want to play devil's advocate with myself, I've made the Southgate argument, so I'll leave that alone. We need him to be a right winger, right inside forward type player. For Dortmund, he really has, I mean, with Harry Kane, whatever, him and Royce get to choose where they play up front, even fluid, with Haaland, because Haaland doesn't touch the ball. All he does is score goals. So Sancho and Royce can play number 10, right wing, left wing, across the whole thing, especially when Favre was there playing his very weird 3 defenders, everyone attack. Sancho could fill whatever position he wanted. So if we are asking him to play like right winger,
rigid,
I can see why we might lose that flexibility and why someone might want me to have a Grealish or a Rashford. So fair enough. If it's tactical, fair enough. But if you're just picking the best players, and I think I am, Sancho gets in there.
Yeah. And do you know what? If he was playing in the Premier League, everyone would know more about him, and it would be a little bit like the Grealish campaign for what's he doing, not getting in the squad. And guys in the chat, I can see there's a lot of love for Grealish. See why. I don't know if he's starting 11, but we all agree we think he should be going. Grealish is better than Mount all day long. Come on, dude. They play different positions. I mean, yeah, fair. Like Mount's been playing front 3 for Chelsea, but remember for England, Southgate considers him in the midfield 3. He's box to box, and geez, Harry Kane is the first name on the team sheet, but Mason Mount, okay, Maguire's the second. Mason Mount's probably the third. Like, that's not going what I think. That's going what the England manager thinks. He absolutely loves this kid. Expect Mount to play 90 minutes times by how many games England get in that competition.
I'm happy to say, like, very much enjoyed Mason Mount and Derby, but I'm happy to say I'm one of the people who have been slower to come around to him being as good as he is. But yeah, Grealish could be more talented, fine. But like you say, I want one on the left, one at number 10 / advanced 8. Yeah. I don't want to swap those 2 players. Sure, they could do each other's role if they had to, but Mount is the only player in our squad who plays that position. Sure, Foden can play in the middle. Sure, Grealish can play in the middle, but I want them elsewhere, and I think Mount does the job better.
Yeah, and to ask Grealish or Foden to go and play in the midfield 3 when they've not played those roles all season, I think Grealish had about 3 or 4 games there. Foden hasn't had a single game there for City this year. It would seem a little bit off.
Did play 1. I don't remember when it is, so that's real unhelpful for anyone who wants to fact check me. But I recall him playing 1 there. Okay. It might have been one of those, Gundogan is injured, De Bruyne is injured, and they had no other option, so he did play there. And I suspect it went as well as any game does. He's brilliant. But
football commentators, reporters will still tell you that Foden's coming to the team and replaced David Silva this year. Right.
That's just the old, because he was like, the next KDB, so therefore he's going to play that role. They're very different. They're exactly the same if you describe football as defender, midfielder, attacker.
Yeah.
If you describe football in any other way, they're very different players.
Yeah, in terms of FPL categories, they're the same. What about Bellingham? And look, guys, as soon as
he's in my squad.
Yeah.
I don't think I named him earlier. Really good shout, actually. He might start
instead of Hendo.
Depends on the team. Yeah. Do you? Someone else.
Greenwood had a header there, by the way. Greenwood header, but it was. It may have been off.
Was that defender? Comes off a defender.
Oh, did it come off Castagna?
Yeah.
Oh, BPS for Castagna, clearance, sure.
Nice.
So yeah, if Hendo's injured, then it's Phillips probably comes in, but maybe Bellingham. I mean, he can play that. What's Bellingham's preferred role, Seb, in a midfield 3? Do you call him an 8? Do you call him box to box? Does he play in a 3? What's his gig?
He can play a shieldy DM role, but I like him doing the sort of shuttly 8.
Yeah.
So I want him to tackle, intercept, win me the ball, carry it up the pitch, and give it to Mason Mount, which is not too dissimilar to what you might want from a Declan Rice or Henderson, depending on the role you ask them to play.
Yeah.
I guess I'd probably prefer him for the balance in midfield. I'd probably prefer him over Phillips, despite adoring Phillips and thinking Rice shouldn't go and Phillips should be there twice.
It's Phillips or Rice, isn't it?
Yeah. Realistically, it's Declan Rice, Henderson, and Mount. And then if I lose Henderson, Bellingham probably does a better job of replacing the roles I need in the team than Phillips does. Depends who we're playing, I guess.
Quite tall, isn't he? Is he like 6'2", Bellingham? Seems like quite an. I'm just thinking, like,
quite possibly.
If you've got Rice, if you've got your centre-backs, you've got Rice, you've got Bellingham, obviously Harry Kane, you've got some good aerial presence. Just to not forget, in Russia, England scored a lot of goals from headed corners. Like, it was key. The set piece was so important for Southgate, and it will be again this time round. And it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Trent is not going to be starting. Who's going to be on those set pieces? Will it be Mason Mount? Possibly. Will it be Chilwell if he starts? Possibly.
Sure.
Possibly, I don't
know. Mount from one side, Shaw from the other.
Yeah, I think whoever's in at left back has got a good chance on being on 50% of them.
I'm surprised you're as bullish on Chilwell as you are. Chelsea, favouritism aside, good player.
Shaw has been amazing.
Left back. He's my backup left back real comfortably.
Mine's only because of Shaw's lack of game time in the England shirt in the last 3-4 years. He simply hasn't played or even been in squads. Like, don't get me wrong, Seb, I'm not a big Chilwell fan. When he moved to Chelsea, I wasn't that happy about it. I thought we were overpaying. Look, he's done well. And he's actually surprised me a little bit. He's done better than I thought he'd do. Still 1-1, Leicester with some neat passing. But
yeah, Tillman's doing a nice little job there, laying it off a few times, winning it back again as well. When there's no other sort of like ball progressory, like number 10, I guess he's not number 10 in the team, Tillman's really does dominate this Leicester side. I think he's better than Maddison.
Yeah.
Different roles again, but Tillman's couldn't play Maddison's role. Maddison can't play Tillman's role.
I looked the other day, I think they paid 45 million euros for him. I was really surprised how big his transfer fee was.
And they'll make a profit on that when
pedigree.
Real Madrid go and sign him or something.
This kid's 23, 24, I think, and he starts for Belgium. Really highly regarded. Where did they buy him from, sir? Was it Anderlecht?
Anderlecht.
Yeah, he was talked about for a very long time. I remember reading about him in Gossip Column every single day for a year that United were linked with him or whoever. And
he's one of those classic. You would pay like 3 million for him when he was 17 on FM, and your midfield was sorted for 15 years.
Oh, Thomas with the ball in, well blocked. Oh, indeed, on the edge of the box doesn't get there. Look, we're nearly at the hour mark. We've seen very little in terms of Bournemouth action. We do have, however, what I was going to say is we're going to start seeing some subs. And as I say that, the camera cuts to James Maddison, who looks like he's being told to warm up, not get his bib off. So we might be waiting a while. But I hope to see some action. Maybe we'll see Rashford or Bruno, Seb. Could do with it.
I'd quite like a Bruno. A Bruno come on for a cheeky assist, or better yet, a 95th minute penalty would do me very nicely.
I mean, you could
Iheanacho in the area. Tillman's played Iheanacho through there. He's looking to always cut onto his left, which is very easily read by the defender, and they just wait to intercept it.
Watching Juan Mata play centre mid / number 10, he's central. Looks like a guy that hasn't played in a very long time. He looks shot. He looks really tired, and I can just see Bruno going, give me a run out in that Mata role. Give me a bit of space. Yes, please. Maybe put Rashford on up top. I could see some nice combinations for my FPL team.
I think that's fair. And I'd imagine, pure speculation, but I'd imagine Bruno is one of those players who, okay, you don't want him to play 390s in 5 days, but whenever there's a match, you probably want him to touch the ball a few times. I bet as long as he's fit. Oh, Iheanacho's in here. Good save. Good save from De Gea. Very classic De Gea save. He goes down with his, down onto one knee, spreads his arms, doesn't let it go through his legs, and it comes off his body. But good, decent little chance there. Tight angle.
Cavani warming up. Interesting as well, I know why I went Rashford. It was the differentialness, but also he didn't start against Roma, and I just thought, I think he's going to get more minutes than Greenwood over the triple. And I genuinely think
he still could.
He still might.
It's just unfortunate that
against Liverpool.
That was the thing. I remember talking about it with a few people. It was like, okay, the triple isn't that different to the double, because let's assume no one gets 390s. Yeah. Maguire, Henderson, who hasn't, aside.
Who doesn't play Liverpool and get the other two.
Exactly. It was like, okay, it's basically a double with a bonus, but you need Leicester and Villa. That's the double you want.
Yeah.
And hey, I have Greenwood. I didn't think he'd get both of these. I've got away with that.
Is it the double you want though, Seb? Because yes, it's Leicester, perhaps weaker opposition than Liverpool, perhaps not. But also, you're playing with kids rather than playing with the full strength 11. I'm quite excited to see United versus Liverpool, because I'm going to see my guy playing with Pogba and Bruno rather than playing with kids.
Hey, that's a good point, to be fair. When I was considering this, I don't think I thought
we didn't see wholesale
quite the changes they did. But yeah, no, with that in mind, yeah, maybe that's a really nice point. Liverpool, obviously tougher than Leicester, but I guess it depends in what department you think is tougher.
I mean,
the defence, I think, is out. But Man United can score.
If you look at that
Solskjaer might go for 0-0.
Look at the centre-back pairing that played the other day for Liverpool. Phillips played with the other kid. Fabinho played centre mid or didn't play centre back. They conceded. Was it Southampton they played? Yeah.
Yes.
Southampton were unlucky not to score. They had a few. Alisson made a couple of good saves. They had a lot of goal mouth action. Shea Adams could have had a couple.
There was a brilliant one-on-one, which I think was Shea Adams.
It was Shea Adams first half. Well. Just before the Mane goal, that would have taken him 1-0 up.
You know what was interesting in that match, which I don't know how much FPL relevance it has rather than looking out for it, but both goalkeepers' distribution was truly shocking.
Was it? I didn't notice that.
They both kept going for that, I can't get this on my strong foot, but instead of going for my weak foot, I'll go with the outside of my strong foot.
Yeah.
And I'll just scuff it into midfield. There was a couple of them that came off. They ended up at a midfielder's feet. And I think the commentators might have gone, he's cunningly played that out. But after watching them do it 5 or 6 times, I was like, I'm not sure he has. I think that might have been lucky, and all the rest have nearly ended up in chances. So it'd be an interesting one to keep an eye on with Man United if they can put Alisson under pressure with the high line Liverpool play.
Yeah.
And with that line, I'm stealing this opinion from someone smarter than me. I didn't notice this, but Liverpool have basically kept defending in the same way they did with Van Dijk, which makes sense because you build a system and you have to keep playing that system. You can't just change it overnight.
Yeah.
But they're now doing it with 2 centre-backs who aren't nearly as quick and don't have as good positional sense. So there really are those opportunities to get in behind, which maybe Joel Matip and Virgil van Dijk would have swept up. Now Alisson is kind of having to come for every single one of them, or leave it alone and someone gets a chance.
Yeah. Rashford coming on soon, says Kevin. Kevin, I've not seen him warming up. I've seen Pogba, Bruno doing stretches. We've got Cavani coming on. Didn't see Rashford. Let us know if you actually saw him, Kevin, or if you're just hoping. Guys,
he's got his top off here. Yeah, Cavani and Rashford are.
Come on, get in. By the way, we've got Crystal Palace team news. Shock. Mitchell, who everyone told me on YouTube, on this very channel, he won't start 2 games. Everyone told me on Twitter, he won't start. Oh, shock. Mitchell starts both games. Why? Van Aanholt's out of contract. What's the point in playing him?
Ooh, Danny Ings starts as well. So there goes my Guaita clean sheet.
Zaha starts for those on a free hit. Eze starts for those on a free hit.
Nice.
Let me just tweet because people give me stick there as well. Oh,
buddy.
Shock.
Take the high ground.
Have you met me?
Fair play.
Oh, brilliant.
Enjoy it down there in the shade of the normality.
Oh, I will. Wait, is Rashford... hopefully, we're going to see Greenwood off as part of this move.
People who have, gone for Cavani right now are going to be feeling pretty bad. And yet, with nearly half of their doubles left, scores a goal here, scores a goal against Liverpool.
Starts against Liverpool as well.
Against a couple. You could end up with having one of the better strikers in this triple or double game week, despite so far having nothing.
Yeah. You're going to get you're probably going to get collectively 120 minutes out of Cavani if he starts against Liverpool, and you might get 3 goals or 2 goals,
Yeah.
Kev, hello to you. You're a regular. Good for you to join us. Where have you been, Kev? Where have you been since 6 p.m? But good to see you, mate. Seb, I realise as people are joining in, and I think I've heard from Kev that he might be coming to Fantasy Football Fest. I realise I've not spoken about it. I should give a little shout out at least to Fantasy Football Fest. Now, guys, if you're not already following us on Twitter, get on it, or just check out the website, ff-fest.com. You can come to meet like-minded people from the FPL community at an event we are hosting on the 13th of August. So I hope you're interested, and if you're UK based, if you're overseas, it might not be possible, but maybe it'll be possible in the future, that you can come to one of our events. We've got an amazing venue. We're going to have lots of stuff lined up, lots of stuff in the pipeline. It's currently £20 a ticket. Use the code EARLYBIRD to get your ticket for £18. You can meet me and Seb. You can tell us all about how great we are on Scoutcast match days, or what it is you want us to improve on. Or you can ask Seb about Leeds, or you can ask me about why Italy didn't win the Euros, but they got mugged off in the final and lost on a shootout, or whatever. I look forward to having those conversations. Yeah. Seb, you're coming, right? Can I count on you?
Yeah, man. Unless something changes, I'll be there.
Love that.
Do we expect that to be possibly the first night of a new league season?
So I put it at a 75%. And by the way, guys, this has been Greenwood off. This has been launched by myself and Mark. Now, when I say Mark, yes, the Mark you're thinking of, Scout Mark, the guy that introduced Fantasy Football Scout to the world. He's launched this with myself, so we've given it a lot of time and effort. And yeah, we put a 75% chance. Maddison on, by the way. Rashford on, Greenwood on. Cavani on, Greenwood off. Elanga off. and I think Perez off.
A lot of goals just entered this game.
Yeah, I hope so. Oh wow, Seb, I'm going to come to you.
Okay. Are we expecting some action?
We are expecting some action.
We've got a Leicester corner with Brighton number 11, I believe, over it. Sounds like you're ahead of me, buddy. So if you want to take it away, I'll happily hand it over to you.
I'm not.
Ball into the box, far post, and we knew what was coming there then. Crunching header from Sionchu.
Oh!
Far post, first time, lovely header. So that's a very clean Brighton assist and Sionchu goal. And absolutely nobody anywhere loses a point for Man United defenders because no one owns the ones that are playing.
Yeah, love that. Could affect the bonus, maybe. I don't know. I mean, Greenwood's on for 3 bonus. Maybe Sionchu shoots up. But what a header that is. I'm not sure if he scored this season. He scored a few last year. I think this could be Sionchu's first Premier League goal this season. But what a header.
Who's he got ahead of there? Is it Matic?
Oh, Matic doesn't jump. And you're taller, Matic. You're 6'4".
It's classic. Sionchu is coming running there.
Yeah.
Matic is static. And you can see Matic is static. You can see like him basically going, uh-oh, and trying to block Sionchu rather than going for the ball. He knows he's in trouble.
Yeah.
How many points you on, Johnny?
Oh, God. I don't like to check.
Oh, if it's terrible, don't share.
Oh, no. I don't think it will be terrible. What am I on? I'm going to go on live FPL because
fair.
We'll actually get the points from Rashford and Bruno, who have just entered the pitch.
Nice. Oh, yeah, well, let's wait till the end because you'll get some points from Rashford for sure.
Do you reckon? I'm now Leicester have scored. That bodes well for me. I'm on 77.
Oh, strong. So we've got Greenwood on 22 bonus, Tellers on 21, Matic 20. Telemans is on 19, Luke Thomas on 19. I don't know if that's updated for the goal yet, so there's every chance there's a few little changes there. I don't know if you get a bonus for winning. I'm not sure you do. I think it's individual. Yeah, Sionchu is on 28 now. So Sionchu, good if I could say that. Or Brighton would be on 23, so 2, and then Greenwood and Tellers bring it up on 22 and 21. So Greenwood may be just holding on to 1 here. The thing is, he's not going to add to that. So we probably need a Man United goal for Greenwood to get a real hope of bonus here.
Yeah. I think we'll get one, will we, Seb? Leicester haven't looked brilliant. There's 20 minutes with some of the top guns coming on. Leicester
haven't looked good, and yeah, I think although Greenwood's gone off, I think Man United have added more goals to the game than they've taken away with Cavani and Rashford coming on. The midfield still isn't quite as strong as you'd want it to be. It's very much second string, but Leicester haven't put up that much.
No.
Although I remember saying that against West Ham, and then they scored 3 goals or 2 goals, whatever it was. So they've got it in them, but like we've seen for the last few weeks, right? They're just a bit flat. They're just lacking. You know what it probably is? It is the difference between a Leicester and a Man City, a Man United, a Chelsea. The same 11 needs to play every match, every week, to their best for Leicester to even match a Man City who could play at 50%. And Man United aren't too dissimilar. They're not as good, but they have so many more quality players that, if a couple of Leicester players are out of form or just have played every minute of the season, well, Man United can rotate. Leicester can't.
Do we overrate them though, Seb? Because I looked at the Leicester team the other day and I was talking about Brendan Rodgers moving to Spurs and why he wouldn't go. And I was like, I'd only put 3 of these Spurs, maybe 4 of the Spurs players in this Leicester 11. Like, you look at the Leicester 11 on paper and you go, Ndidi's brilliant. Tielemans, amazing. The centre-backs are so solid. The full-backs are good. You've got Vardy and Iheanacho, you've got goals. Maddison's a good creator. But I just wonder if these players would all work in a United, a City, a Chelsea team, would they be out their depth? Possibly. Maybe they're a bit big fish, small pond. I certainly think of that with Maddison. I don't know. It's a bit unfair on some of the others. Like Tielemans could go and play for Real Madrid, sure. But maybe a lot of the others can't and they just look slightly better because, they're only playing for Leicester. Do you know what I mean?
I'm a big believer in system over individuals. So if you've got, your good individuals there with a solid system, which I guess also forms the argument if you lose one of your, 11 or 12 who play that system well, it can fall apart quite quickly. Leeds are a really good example of that. So yeah, I think maybe the sum can be greater than the whole can be greater than the sum of the parts. But there's a few in there. I mean, is Iheanacho, if he did this for another season, do you start wondering if City should have kept him as backup? Would you rather have Iheanacho or Jesus right now? I mean, I know Jesus plays a different style and whatnot, but one of them.
We know who Pep wanted.
Yeah, indeed. And then we know Jamie Vardy. Okay, he's getting old now, but he could have done a job for any of those top sides over the last little while. If Arsenal tried to sign him. Maddison and Tillmans are up there, Ndidi, and we're starting to name half their team there. Fofana is absolutely brilliant. Schmeichel is a solid enough goalkeeper for a Champions League side. So, yeah, it's not quite the quality of the top teams, but that's why they're looking like slipping out of top 4, possibly.
The system conversation, Seb, you gave an example there. Leeds is the best example of that. Does that mean when you look at those players on paper, that how many of them get into a top 10 Premier League team? Because Bamford doesn't. We've seen that in the past. He's been there, done that. I mean, maybe he's a better player now. You look at that back line. Look at the goal. I mean, Phillips, maybe? Rafinha?
I adore Rafinha's definitely the exception.
Yeah.
But I adore our team and I adore our players as people and players. But Calvin Phillips, we talked earlier about him playing for England.
Yeah.
But he's not being managed by Bielsa. He looks a little bit worse. Luke Ayling was not deemed good enough for Brentford when they went from a back three to a back four because they thought he couldn't play right back. He's now a top 10 Premier League right back. Liam Cooper was a League One centre back when we signed him.
And he still is.
I wanted us to keep Tom Lees. I mean, we lost him, but I'd rather have Tom Lees at the time. I just heard what you said. Liam Cooper has our best defensive statistics in the team.
Yeah, but none of the others have played. Put Llorente in a full season.
Oh, per minute as well. He has the best statistics. But I mean, there's a fair argument that someone made to me the other day that, if you're looking at someone's tackles, recoveries, whatever, that suggests you might have already made a mistake. So fair enough. But I really like Liam Cooper. But yeah, if you take him out of a Bielsa side, especially for long enough for, whatever Bielsa has taught him to leave, I don't know if he's much above a top championship centre-back. Like he wasn't before Bielsa joined. Yeah. There was a lot of jokes about him a while ago now. He's become more solid, even before Bielsa. But when we used to go to Wooden Road back in the good old non-pandemic days, I remember when Liam Cooper used to start, when we had Carl Bartley, Pontus Jansson, when Liam Cooper would come in for one of them, I remember thinking, cool, well, we're conceding a goal today then.
Carl Bartley was ahead of him, was he?
Yeah.
Says it all, yeah. West Brom's Carl Bartley, by the way, guys, if you're not familiar.
He was very, Jamie Vardy is in and, I think rather than shooting, Jamie Vardy has tried to loft that to the far post to Tillmans. Jamie Vardy doing this creator role that he's becoming famous for now. And he possibly just puts it a little too high and beyond him. Tillmans clashes with the post rather than tapping it in. But could Vardy,
he's got a shoot there, hasn't he? Well,
I guess because it's coming to his head, it's not an easy attempt. But Vardy before 3 months ago shoots. However he shoots.
Tielemans is... he must hurt himself there. Tielemans is unmarked and it is a good run.
Oh, it's a brilliant attempted find, but I don't think Jamie Vardy looks for that until recently.
Yeah, or you just go for the back stick and if it's slightly off, then it goes to Tielemans. Yeah. Guys in the chat, Bruce is coming to Fest. Get in there, Bruce. I've just put our Twitter handle in the chat. Feel free to follow us if you want more info. Glad you're coming, Bruce. Look forward to chatting, mate. Tielemans looks like he's going to be fine. Since the substitutions in the last 13 minutes, since the likes of Cavani and Bruno and Rashford have been on. Bruno is on, right? No,
Rashford and
Cavani. We haven't seen a chance yet for United, but they've got to get the ball up there, haven't they?
I don't believe they have. I mean, we mentioned just before half-time that both sides have had one shot each.
Not much has changed.
Well, you say that. Man United have doubled that. Leicester, 11 shots.
Okay.
Only two on target, 6 of which have been blocked. So, those are the ones you could have a scuff shot from ages away and it's blocked, even outside the box. But just on that balance, and I mean, the little bits we've seen while we've been talking, Leicester possibly do deserve this lead so far.
Yeah.
Not that either side has blown us away by any means.
Great question from Manan. Do you reckon Greenwood starts against Liverpool? Now, the plan was definitely for him not to start. I don't think that plan changes despite his good form. I just think it's too many minutes. And I don't think he's in United's first choice 11. In fact, I know he's not. Greenwood does not start the Europa League final. The lineup is Cavani as the 9, Pogba wide left because that's where he has been playing and playing damn well. Bruno as the 10 and Rashford, out of position I know, will be the first choice on the right. Ollie is not benching one of his favourite players in Rashford. And if Pogba plays wide left, which he will, Greenwood doesn't get in. It's a shame. And for that reason, Greenwood doesn't play against Liverpool either. And also the minutes thing. But Seb, do you disagree?
I agree with everything you said, apart from he was in the team to play Liverpool last time. Now, of course, a lot has changed.
That was 3 days before the Roma tie, and Cavani couldn't play both.
Exactly. A lot has changed, not least the minutes and the scheduling. But I wouldn't completely rule it off. When did he come out here? What,
60,
65,
yeah.
60?
And it was about
So
70 the other night, wasn't it? But he
this
did
is
get 90
probably,
against Roma.
This is probably not far off we predicted. And if we were to see that through, we were going to say he gets 30 at the end of the match against Liverpool. That's probably what I think is the most ball in the box for Leicester here. Not quite fallen down for them and cleared away by Matic. But another far post, I think it was Vardy going for it again. Man United on the break with Rashford going down the left. Easily cleared up there by Fofana. Outnumbered, really, so Rashford had a lot to do on his own, but good defending. But yeah, I would say I'm with you. Like 75% Greenwood doesn't start. But there is that chance, just based on the fact that he hasn't played all the minutes tonight or the other night, and he was in that original team. I think the original thing we said is the most likely outcome there, where he comes off the bench.
Yeah, and you never know. Someone could come off with a knock today. Cavani might not be feeling great. Whatever. Yeah, I should read in the chat. Yeah, Matt says there's a chance, given the fact he's gone off around 60 in both games, kind of just what Seb was saying. Gary Neville put Rashford in his team of the season last night for Sky Sports. His 1-11 of the best players in the Premier League this season. By the way, the front three for Carragher, I don't want to misquote him, they both had Kane and Foden. And I think Carragher had Son. Now, many have put Salah, some have Son. You might want Grealish in there. Gary Neville thinks Rashford is the best wide forward in the Premier League this season. Him and Foden. Are you having a laugh?
I've not really thought that deeply about it, but Rashford wouldn't be anywhere near mine.
That means you're leaving Son out. That means you're leaving Salah out. It's mental.
I could make arguments to leave both Salah and Son out, but I wouldn't leave them out for Rashford. Like, he just hasn't been better in any way, shape or form.
No, and he also had Maguire. Now, Maguire's been all right, but, for me, Diaz walks into that team, and Rudiger has been sensational, and he wasn't even mentioned. But obviously Diaz. Now, are you saying Maguire's the second best centre-back in the league this season? I don't think so.
I guess it's an interesting one.
Put John Stones in, for God's sake.
Yeah, fair. I mean, it's one of those where, like, so much as, Maddison shot on the edge of the area wide. Looked nice, though. Curled it nicely. Tried to get it around the defender, but quite a bit wide in the end. I'm not sure who would have got the assist on that. There's every chance it would have been Iheanacho.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that goes quite wide in the end there. I think, like, it's been a season where we've had a lot of teams change halfway through. Bruno Fernandes is on for Amad Diallo.
Oh, come on, captain!
That'd be nice. Take a goal or an assist here. That'd be lovely. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams like Man United. I mean, a lot of defenders really haven't shone that much. Maybe Wesley Fofana would go in next to Diaz for me. Man City obviously started so poorly. Diaz does deserve it, but then does Stones, has their defence actually been good enough to have both centre-backs? Chelsea, I quite like the idea of a Chelsea defender, apart from the fact that they've only been good since Tuchel took over.
And
so that discounts half the season.
Mohamed's just made a good point. Rudiger played half a season. Yeah, but to be fair, so did Foden.
That's why I might not consider Foden. I think there's been so many players this year. Yeah, I think there's been so many players this year that have had a really good half of the season that you maybe don't end up with an 11 where everyone has a good full season, and so you just have to make some choices. I'll tell you one who I would have in, and it's non-negotiable. No, but okay. Stuart Dallas.
He wasn't even mentioned, but you're right. But that means you've got to play him in one of your midfield three spots. So you can't have Declan Rice, you can't have Bruno, and, well, you can, but it means, what, you're going Bruno, Rice, Bruno, Mount, and Dallas?
It depends.
Mount has to be in there.
Was Cavani? I nearly tried to hit it around the corner. Cavani not in there, but just tried to hit it around the corner. It bounced away from him. Probably good.
Oh, Christ. Vardy's been subbed off.
Oh, buddy.
Jesus. Just getting jack all from him for the last month.
Oh, yeah. Is it Chowdhury? Yeah, Chowdhury.
By the way, Vardy is what stopped me bringing in Bale and captaining him 2 weeks ago when I came on this very channel and told everyone to buy Bale and captain him. He was 3% owned and he went and got the hat-trick. Yeah, that was the worst weekend of my life when those guys went in.
Of your life. And you've had a good life.
It was a social media blackout, right? And everyone was... I didn't turn my notifications off. So my phone was just pinging with notifications and DMs with, I'm so happy for you went for Bale, because I told everyone I was going to do it. And then I didn't post my team because of the social media blackout, and I actually dabbled because I didn't post my team. So come 6 o'clock, I was like, I'm not locked into a team. I can make changes. So I sold Ollie Watkins, who's got 8 points, for a 4-point hit because I didn't want to sell Vardy and didn't buy Bale and captain him. I captain Kane. The 55-point swing is real. That move cost me 55 points if I'd done what I said I was going to do. But the amount of people said that captain Bale, because I said I was going to and said I think it's a great shout, I was so happy for them. And to be fair, that's what this season's become. Me giving advice to others rather than myself.
Yeah, exactly. What would you rather, Danny? Would you rather you had all those points to yourself, or would you generously give them to others, especially after your shouts earlier in the season?
Yeah.
You got to give back. You got to give back.
Yeah, exactly right. I had to go out for a seriously long dog walk without my phone as Bale's second went in. Forget the third.
Without your dog as well, weirdly.
Yeah.
It's just a long walk. What made you change? What made you make that change?
So part of the plan was I needed to sell to get the money for Bale. I was going to sell Vardy, and it was the Friday night fixture, and I was like, Vardy's going to bang. It's Southampton on Friday night, 9-0 last year. So I kept the faith in Vardy, and I hadn't had any points from him. And I hate selling a player that I bought in a premium and not got anything from. And it was also the fact that because of the social media blackout, I hadn't locked in my team. Now, the team Toby was going to post, the team he had, of course, was Bale. My words were written for our website. Bale was in. My team revealed on Scout. Bale. But I hadn't actually made the move. Because of COVID, I've been making moves half an hour to the deadline. And it got to half an hour to the deadline, and I was like, I can actually change my opinion for once because it's not locked in.
Oh, no.
So I did that. And Watkins left, 8 points. Vardy stayed. Bale didn't come in. Kane did. Got 2 points. And I captained Kane like everyone else.
You bailed on Bale.
I bailed on Bale. And do you know what? I've only got myself to blame. It was a bad decision on me. I'm not blaming the social media blackout or the fact it wasn't locked in. It was my call and I made it wrong.
I mean, from what you've described there, you very much just went with I can make a change, so I will.
Yeah.
Which is a tempting feeling, but as proven out, you kind of went for the, is it a dopamine rush? Probably not quite, but sort of, I get to do something different. Isn't that exciting? I'll take advantage without actually thinking if you should have taken advantage of it.
Yeah, I never do that. I'm very considered. I know I don't seem it. For all of you watching, you probably think I'm a bit scattergun. Not when it comes to my FPL management. I'm like a Marcello Lippi. Considered as you like, but not that day. 82 minutes gone. We've still not had a United chance since all these subs.
Yeah. I was going to say, by the way, I haven't got the chat up, so I don't know if anyone cares. But just to finish the Dallas thing.
Yeah, go on. Oh yeah,
I haven't stole
that from you.
No, I much prefer your talking.
Hearing my nightmares.
But, yeah. So I haven't really picked my team, so I don't know who I would replace. Considerations would be obviously Bruno at 10. That's fine. Then you've got your Gundogan, your Rice.
That was the 3 of Gary Neville, and the 3 of Carragher was Kante instead of Rice. But they both had Gundogan and Bruno. Kante
just being brilliant the last little while, but just not enough of the season for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Mount you could have in there, I guess. Cavani. Bruno Fernandes has just put it very wide. He scuffed it. I didn't see you put the ball in originally, but the ball bounces up for Cavani, and he can't. Oh, nice. He can't just quite get enough on it. And then Bruno Fernandes, if it weren't for the defender, he puts that away, but he has to try and go for that far post and kind of just scuffs it, I think.
Yeah. Does he go outside of the boot, or does he just...
He does. I think he deliberately goes, I think, to try and put it across the goal like that, because indeed he's closing him down, and he ends up just massively scuffing it.
It's one of those that you could almost go out for a throw. He's cut across it so much.
Yeah. So Dallas again. I put Dallas in. I have to choose between Gundogan, Rice, maybe Basuma, someone mentioned to me the other day, which is a good shout. Mount maybe, but Fernandes. So I possibly, depending on if I need to build a real formation or not, I possibly go with like Dallas and Gundogan and don't worry about defensive midfielders.
Yeah, and to be fair,
but I think Rice has been brilliant. I just think Dallas has been more impactful for a team that was expected to do even worse.
Yeah. He really has been. You look at the goals, and those teams of the seasons, they don't usually ever go for balance. So Rice isn't in there because he's been playing DM. He's in there because they think he's in the top 3, I think. And when you see those teams of the season, they're often out of shape and aren't a team that would work. I don't think they necessarily have to. But Rice, Dallas, fair shout. There's not much to split them. If you go to goals contributions of Dallas, then maybe that edges it.
I mean, I wouldn't expect a Leeds fan not to pick it. And it's just, for me, it's kind of like, I think a Leeds player you should consider. So I've looked at who's had the impact, and I really think it's Dallas, to the point where that's pushed me to thinking he deserves to be in there. Fair enough. If it's not your team, you might not even consider it, and that's legit. I'm as unbiased as I tried to be, I'm going to be biased. I can't avoid that.
Yeah.
It's not, though, just the goal contribution for Dallas for me. So that's a big FPL thing.
Yeah.
But in the sort of real football sense, he has, since going to midfield and changing from the man marking to the zonal marking, he has literally changed the fortunes of the entire team. And that really is, for me, what really pushes him into the team for me. It's not just contribution. He has changed how a team has played, who are going to finish in the top half, who some expected to get relegated.
Yeah, many did. Got a corner for United, 85 minutes on the clock. United 1, Leicester 2.
Bruno Fernandes onto the head of Cavani. That's what we're looking for here, right? Oh, it's not even Fernandes on the corner. It's Alex Telles, of course, from the left. It comes in, falls at the feet of a Leicester player who clears it away. There is every chance this ends up 2-1 to Leicester. I wouldn't rule out Bruno doing something, but they've not really looked like having all that much up front. Breaking that rhythm, I guess. You can bring on all your good players, but if they're only on for 20 minutes, maybe they're not quite into it.
We're going to see 2-1 Leicester and no goal involvements for Vardy or Iheanacho or Maddison, as others went from the free hit. Disappointing for free hitters, that.
You know what we've kind of not really talked about here, because we've kind of cast this away as a meaningless match. 2-1 for Leicester here is massive for top four, because they would have expected nothing from this.
This was the one where we were going, they're going to drop points. Yeah. Look at, they got to go to Old Trafford. Well, actually, that's their hardest game that they could be winning.
This makes up for the mistake where they dropped points last week. So now they are, with a game more played, admittedly, they're on 66 points. United are on 70. I think they're fine. They've got another game in hand. Chelsea on 64 with a game on hand, and Leicester. West Ham on 58. Liverpool on 57 with 2 games in hand. Tottenham back on 56. I mean, this flips me from thinking Leicester are dead and buried to they have a chance.
I would love Leicester to get top 4. It's just great for the Premier League. Like, I love this group of players. They're also my local team. They're 35 minutes up the road. I can get to. I'm from the stadium, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. So now I should really, really support Leicester. Like, if I go out to the local town centre or whatever, everyone's wearing Leicester shirts, and that town isn't Leicester. So yeah, come on the red. Oh,
we got some action.
No, I don't think so. Possibly not.
Well, Bruno very deep near the centre circle here from a corner is playing it over and wide. Leicester seem pretty comfortable at the moment. That is a very solid almost back 5 with 2 DMs looking at how they've set up. So, I mean, they're just being outnumbered. There's more defensively solid players on the pitch for Leicester than there are creative ones for Man United at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
Donny van de Beek has been, I'd say, disappointing. When he's got a poorer team around him, maybe you expect not as much. But considering how much I enjoyed him at Ajax and how he's looked decent in other United performances, today is a day where he could have maybe done the I'm the Bruno replacement job.
Give me a chance.
He really hasn't.
We've barely. I mean, him and Mata both played, in those attacking mid spots, and both done very, very little. Obviously, they've had Matic screening them as well. They've not had much defensive responsibility. We've seen no flair. We've seen no creativity from 2 players that we know can do it. Interesting one. He's got it'll be interesting to see where he goes next season at Old Trafford. There's no way United sell him because they've got an investment there. They'd be making a huge loss if they sold him now. They're going to give him a chance, but he's going to struggle for game time again next season, especially if they go and buy Sancho. It's another attacker to that team.
It's a shame for him because he, in many other top clubs in Europe, becomes their ball in here with Rashford, just headed wide.
No,
I think that was probably intended for Cavani and just went past him. Rashford doesn't really have the best opportunity and skims it quite far post. Put in by Williams, I believe.
Oh, Brandon. Who's gonna be on for bonus here then? Let's have a look. Is Greenwood still getting 3?
I'd say no. I think Leicester players. I mean, what we're going to have? We're going to have Sunchi probably top still because of the goal.
He doesn't get a massive BPS though, Sunchi, for the goal, does he? Let's have. Oh no, you're right.
He was top when I looked before.
Yeah, fair. Albrighton second, Greenwood third.
Oh, Greenwood in third still.
But,
I thought Tillman's
Tillman's is on 20, Greenwood 22. So Tillman's needs to do something.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, it's probably the end of the match where someone like Tillman's maybe loses BPS now, gives away fouls.
Yeah.
He probably isn't going to create chances. He might recover the ball a few times, but I might expect giving away possession or fouls more than I would expect positive actions.
Yeah. We've had a question from Maximo. Will there be a Scoutcast tonight? Gosh, you're cracking the whip there, Maximo. Seb's already committed to 2 hours.
Tomorrow. We are doing one tomorrow.
Oh, you're going to be shattered, Seb, with your lack of sleep for your day job.
So I'm with you tonight. We've got Scoutcast tomorrow, and then I'm with you again on Friday.
Are you sure you want to do Friday?
Then we've got a Scoutcast next Monday as well. And then you won't see me for a summer.
Yeah, well, good job we're not doing the midweek Game Week 37 Scoutcast match day, because that would be me going, Seb, can you do Wednesday?
Are we? I mean, if people aren't bored of us, are we going to do anything for the Euros? Do we feel like that?
Maybe. I am up for that. I mean, especially round some juicy games. I think yeah, watch this space. Also, we do have Game Week 38, Sunday the whatever, 4 p.m, all 10 games. That's going to be fun.
You can finally hear someone other than me talk. I'll shut up for 45 minutes.
Well, I'm hoping I'm pretty sure FPL family Lee has said yes to me. I need to double check my messages.
Oh,
but
nice.
So it'll be us two, Lee, and then one other, maybe Tobes. In fact, I'm pretty sure it will be Tobes, to tell me how he's beat me by 300 points this season. So yeah, that'll be fun.
I think, I won't say who because A, not my place, and B, no idea if it's confirmed. But I think we have a cool guest for the last Scoutcast of the season. Someone who used to burn it loads.
Nice. Okay, that will be fun. So yeah, do check that. So is that that'll be the last one of the season, Seb? Monday night?
Monday. Goodness.
Probably will be.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know what the game weeks are.
No,
anymore.
It will be.
We're doing 37 now. Monday. Well, no, there'll be no because we've got the midweek stuff. So there'll be 37, I think. Not 37. So I think there'll be.
The midweek fixtures are Tuesday and what? So you do a Monday and a Thursday Scoutcast.
Let me have a look. I might have got it wrong. Also, again, I don't know how much of my place it is to reveal them, so I don't want to get it wrong. We've got May the 4th, which we did, Wednesday the 12th, which is tomorrow, Monday the 17th, I believe, and then I have a Friday the 21st, potentially, according to what I got here. But that's not in my hands. It might change. But I think we have a few more left.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the Friday night is possible, knowing the fixtures are all on the Sunday. Interesting. Watch this space, guys. There's 30 seconds left. This has been pretty dire. Pretty dire today, this game.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, probably what you anticipated, right? With a very much of reserve Man United. Not even reserve. Half the players are the third team. Unless they're not quite up to themselves. Maybe offered a bit, 4-4-2. Hey, they deserve their win, but they probably deserve the win because Man United are worrying about other games.
This crowns Man City champions, by the way. I think.
Oh goodness!
It does.
You missed that.
It does.
So it's always a shame when you don't win it when you're playing a match.
I know.
Than...
Although when Leicester won it, it was when Chelsea Battle of the Bridge when Chelsea drew 3-3 with Spurs, and the scenes of like the celebrations in the Leicester players' houses, sort of like Vardy had everyone around his house. I was like, that's still you've not done it on the pitch, but that must have been still pretty cool. Maybe because it was Leicester. I don't know what the scenes will be like in Aguero's house tonight.
Presumably it's just cool. That's another one. Just what I expected. Okay, next season.
Yeah, it ain't much different. Guys, thank you all for watching. It's been brilliant having you on. Thank you for your questions and for the engagement. We're going to be back on Friday night, so definitely join us for that. It's Man City Newcastle. Now, that won't be a boring game. We will see goals. So get your Man City players in, okay? Pep's going to be going full strength against Newcastle. Mark my words. Look at your Mahrez's, your Fodens, your KDB. If anything else, just to make Scoutcast Match Day more enjoyable. We'll be here every step of the way. It's been brilliant having your time, guys. Please do please do subscribe. Make sure you check out Seb on Twitter. And we look forward to seeing you again very soon. See you later.